Hello, this is Lucas with mtgheadquarters.com, and I'm here with a standard deck tech and gameplay. This is a green-black Constellation deck centered mostly around Strength from the Fallen. For those of you that don't know, it's a new card that came out in Journey into Nyx that has the Constellation mechanic that whenever it or another enchantment enters the battlefield, target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So this fits very well into a sort of dredge shell that has sort of been running around. This one in particular seems to get rewarded very much by playing cards like Nyx Weaver, Commune with the Gods, Satyr Wayfinder. I only played 2 Satyr Wayfinder and 2 Sylvan Caryatids and 4 Commune with the Gods. The reason for this split is because you really want to have enchantments to make the Strength for the Fallen insane. And so that way you're able to play Courser of Crufix, and specifically the engine that makes this deck work is this is an Eidolon of Blossoms deck. If you're ever able to untap with Eidolon of Blossoms, you're able to just go off, cast 3 or 4 enchantments, draw cards, refill your entire hand, and it gets out of control really, really fast. And if you ever have Strength from the Fallen in play, you immediately make any of your dorky Elvish Mystics or Satyr Wayfinders or any of your other creatures into immediate threats. Mana Bloom is also quite good in this deck. In the early turns, it's not that much. It's like a bad rampant growth of sorts. You cast it on turn 2, and then you get to use it once. But the fact that you're able to return it to your hand means you're able to set up some pretty gnarly shenanigans with both Eidolon and Strength from the Fallen. Being able to recycle your Mana Blooms as like green target creature gets +8 and draw a card gets insane really, really fast. This deck also runs Boon Satyr. Boon Satyr is kind of like the weakest card. It does offer like a flash way to abuse Strength of the Fallen, which can be sort of played with Pharika as well, but there's a lot of things that go on. This is just one shell for the deck. Sideboard wise, it's kind of designed to beat a lot of stuff that runs around on Magic Online. For example, Mono Red's a big thing, so we run 4 Nylea's Disciple, 3 Scavenging Ooze. There's also 2 Skylashers, 2 Mistcutter Hydras to trump the mono blue decks. Golgari Charm is also very powerful. It and Abrupt Decay I think are very well positioned right now just to beat other enchantment decks, Banishing Light, etc. There's a Miser Doomblade, and then Bow of Nylea for the green matchups. Mana base wise, 4 Overgrown Tombs, 4 Temple Maladies, ton of Forests, some Mutavaults. This is also a very, very good Nykthos deck. I'm considering cutting this Mana Confluence for another Nykthos. There are some color requirements, like trying to hit Nyx Weaver with so few black sources in the deck is a thing. But other than that, I really like the deck. I think it's quite strong, and there's a lot of just fun shenanigans you can do with it. So that's it for the deck tech. Let's go ahead and hop into the games. So here we are for round 1. We lost the die roll, so we're going to be on the draw naturally. This hand is kind of too sketchy to keep. If this was a Satyr Wayfinder, I'd be a little bit more prone to do it, but we're just going to mulligan. Our opponent has also mulligan, so it's not the biggest deal. This hand is okay. It has all the ramp we need and a Temple of Malady, so we're able to basically, once we're able to find a threat, we'll be able to move on from there. It seems like we're against either Naya or green-white aggro. Seems like he has Scry to the top. Eidolon of Blossoms was a fantastic draw there. Now here we could pay 2 to have an Elvish Mystic on turn 1. It's not the most relevant thing, and I think I'd rather Scry this turn and see what's coming. Be sure to filter out any more lands to the bottom. Nykthos, Nykthos can be really powerful. We do have an Eidolon on turn 4 unless he chooses to kill the Elvish Mystic. I think I'm going to just keep it on top. Being able to basically be able to cantrip these Mana Blooms once we have an Eidolon in play can be pretty relevant. And it seems like his start is pretty slow, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Here I'm just going to cast an Elvish Mystic and play an Overgrown Tomb tapped. Yeah, now we did potentially miss out on 2 damage, like attacking with our Elvish Mystic, but against the green-white decks where they have cards like Loxodon Smiter and the like, oh, Fiendslayer Paladin, that's an interesting one. It's not that relevant against us. It's gonna do a little bit of damage to us, but we're not too worried. So here we could cast either Courser and gain a life with a land, or Mana Bloom. I think we just want to run the Eidolon of Blossoms out there. Like, there's not much in the way of removal apart from Oblivion Rings and the like, and this at least cantrips. So I'm just going to cast the Eidolon here. We're going to take 2 damage on the crack from the Fiendslayer Paladin, but if we're able to untap, the shenanigans will ensue. Seems like we drew down the Eidolon, which is very nice. So we're going to take 2 damage here, possibly more depending on what he has. He could have Advent of the Worm. This could be Banishing Light. 4 mana. Tristani. Okay, well, that's not that relevant for what we're about to do. So yeah, we're going to take 2 here, and we're going to be a little bit sad that we take 2, but could be much worse. And now, since we have to untap with Eidolon, we get to have some fun. Specifically, so we can try and set up Nykthos doing crazy things. Attacking's not going to happen anytime soon. Commune with the Gods can be pretty good to set up the Strength of the Fallen whenever we get it, but here I think I'm just going to try and go insane with the engine itself. Casting Courser is not the best since we won't be able to, like, we can cast Courser, play a land, and then Commune with the Gods or Mana Bloom. We could tap Nykthos, have 3, so Nykthos won't be able to gain us any value itself. I think the best line is just Courser, see if we can filter a land off the top of our library. We're not going to be able to use Nykthos this turn anyway. Okay, so we drew an Elvish Mystic, and we have another Elvish Mystic. So I can cast a Mana Bloom for 0 or for 1, or we can Commune with the Gods or cast an Elvish Mystic. I think I want to set up the Nykthos turn for the following turn, which means I really don't want to hit a land. So I think I'm just going to play a Mana Bloom for 0, cantrip, play the land off the top, get our trigger from there, and then cast an Elvish Mystic. No point in attacking, so we'll just move on. So here he's probably going to gain somewhere between 5 and 7 in life, depending on what goes on. Of course, you can always just block the Fiendslayer Paladin, but we're not under any real pressure here. And this is basically, ooh, that's actually quite a good one. It's a decent clock on us at least. So we're going to have to start setting up the kill on the crackback. Unfortunately, he can't really attack. Well, I mean, he can, we'll just put the Courser in front, he'll make his creatures bigger. Whenever you gain life, this is a 3/6. Okay, so we don't want to put Courser in front of Tristani because first strike damage will happen, he'll gain life and get counters. So I'm just going to throw this in front of the Paladin. 3 damage will happen, we'll take 4 points. And then pass. Okay, so now we're gonna see what sort of shenanigans we can do with Nykthos in play. That's a Nyx Weaver, that's not a bad one. So we have Devotion is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now. So that's pretty good. We can, I think the first thing we want to do is just Commune with the Gods. Try and get ourselves in a position where we can look for Strength of the Fallen. Unfortunately here we hit Nyx Weaver, Boon Satyr, Mana Confluence and the like, so nothing that big. I'm half tempted to just take the Weaver, but it doesn't block Archangel that well. Boon Satyr is not bad. We won't be able to use it if we want to go off completely with Nykthos, since we want to cast everything at sorcery speed. I think I'm just going to take the Boon Satyr, on the off chance we hit a Strength coming up. I'm just going to play this land off the top to make sure we don't have it. Abrupt Decay can't kill the Fiendslayer Paladin, so that's kind of a dead draw. So we still have Devotion to 6. We have at most 7 mana then. This Elvish Mystic is not free. So we can play Eidolon, draw cards. How much damage are we taking next turn? 6. I'm counting the first strike damage already. Elvish Mystic can just jump in front of the Fiendslayer Paladin. I need to be able to set up a turn where I can attack and crack back because we're under a serious clock, and large flyers is one of the major problems of this deck, at least pre-board. So I think what I'm going to do is cast another Eidolon after using Nykthos, since we can't cast it beforehand. So we have 6. I'm going to cast an Eidolon, draw a couple cards, and here we have 4 mana left. I think I'm going to cast another Commune. We have to try and set up a Strength for the Fallen kill pretty quick, and that was a very good draw. So now we can play Strength from the Fallen. Strength right now is plus 1, 2, 3, 4, so plus 4, which means our Courser is big enough to fight through this Archangel. And we get 2 draw phases off of it, which is always pretty nice. I'm gonna just always yield to that. We attack for 6 here. He's almost surely not gonna block. Gonna take 6. And that does it for our turn. So we're gonna just discard this random Elvish Mystic. And I'm probably just gonna discard this Caryatid as well, just to make our Strength from the Fallen that much bigger. Neither one of those trigger Strength from the Fallen, and our following turn we'll be able to set up a pretty massive attack. We're gonna do some chump blocking almost surely. This is probably another Archangel, a Johnny Mentor of Heroes. So that means we're not dead yet, which is pretty nice. He can make his Archangel really big and gain a ton of life. Yeah, so he's got an 8/9 here, 4/7, and a 4/4. He's going to choose to attack for 8 in the air. Well, I can't do much about that. So we're going to take 8. And then take our turn and see what we can do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's at 31. Our Strength triggers for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can play a Mana Bloom for 0, play a Mana Bloom for 0 on 2 different creatures. That'll draw us this Boon Satyr. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to use with Nykthos. So that means we'll be able to bestow 2 Boon Satyrs at instant speed, which will be pretty good, I think. Let's do a quick bit of math. So each Strength trigger is, I always need to recount this. 2, 4, 6. 6 is per Strength trigger, and that's assuming we don't get another Strength from the Fallen. So I'm just going to cast this for 0, draw 2 cards, get a Strength trigger. I'd rather just Strength up this Courser. And we hit a second Strength, which is pretty nice. I'm going to play this Mutavault, and then play another Strength from the Fallen, which is going to set up 3 triggers. So we're going to put 1 on this Eidolon, 1 on this Elvish Mystic, and then we'll draw 2 cards. And then we can go ahead and attack with everything, and then play 2 Boon Satyrs, and that'll probably kill him based on how he blocks. Because our devotion is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so that's just enough. So we just alpha at him. See how he chooses to block, and then we'll use Nykthos and double bestow Boon Satyrs on the ones he chooses not to block and kill him. So this is the sort of power of the double Strength from the Fallen, is it just randomly blows people out. And especially if he puts this Fiendslayer Paladin in front of something that's small, first strike damage will make our strengths even better. Okay. So we can just double bestow Boon Satyrs, and that should be lethal already. So we're going to bestow onto this. Strength trigger, draw 2 cards. He's going to bestow onto this one. Strength trigger, draw 2 cards. and take 1,000,000 damage and die. Bam. Got him. Did we deal like 50 something points of damage that turn? Kind of ridiculous. So I bet he thought he was totally safe and we just blew him completely out of the water. So that's why I wasn't intimidated at all. Against these decks, definitely like this Doomblade. Bow of Nylea is actually not that bad. I didn't see much in the way of Golgari Charm being worth it, or with Mistcutter or Skylasher. Definitely like this Doomblade. This is fine. We have to be able to make the most out of these things. I like Nylea in these sort of matchups. Cedar Wayfinder is not the best, as it's just a dork, but it's better than a lot of the other cards. Despite how good Boon Satyr is at instant speed, I actually don't like it that much in this matchup. But I like it more than Courser. Courser's just really slow. And his guys, his goal is to curve out and play in a Johnny or something and just blow us out that way. So that's the end of game 1. Let's go ahead and hit submit and then move on from. Okay, here we are, round 1, game 2. Waiting for my opponent to decide that he wants to play first. Oh, despite how much I absolutely love this hand, I have to mulligan it. The one-landers are kind of sketchy. This hand is very good as well. I'm not going to mulligan this. Having Wayfinder Strength and Commune is really, really strong. And, see, I don't care about Elixir Immortality. He can gain all the life he wants. We just kill him in one swing. Here we're just going to play our land and pass. Not much else to do. Now, on turn 2, we could play Satyr Wayfinder, we could play Commune, or we could play Strength from the Fallen. I'm actually a huge fan of, oh, he just goes land, go. In this case, I'm a fan of playing Commune with the gods. Satyr Wayfinder will find us our 4th land on turn 3, and you want to hold on to these strengths for the triggers themselves. Sure, I'll pick up an Elvish Mystic. So let's just play Elvish Mystic and Satyr Wayfinder on turn 2. You, sir, have a Fleece Mane Lion that I don't care about. Now here, since we have our black source and we can set up Abrupt Decay to kill his Fleece Mane Lion next turn, I'm just going to play a Satyr Wayfinder first, see if there's anything I want land-wise. Sure, I'll take another temple. Pity we have to ship our Doomblade away, but we hit 2 creatures, which is pretty nice. Now I can hit a temple, and I'm pretty sure I don't want this Mutavault. He's going to attack us for 3 here, and we're going to be not the most disappointed. Seems like he is running a little tight on the mana, so I think Abrupt Decaying this Fleece Mane Lion is actually more advantageous than just playing an Eidolon here. So I'm just going to kill this now. Take away his only threat, and it lets us do whatever we want. I'm going to attack for 1 with our Wayfinder. He has Celestia Charm to ambush us with a 2/2. He doesn't. Okay, then I'm going to play an Elvish Mystic and scry with our Temple. This goes on the bottom. Basically what we're trying to do is we have our engine ready with Eidolon and Strength. We just got to set it up so that way we finish him off. But it seems like since he is pretty much done mana-wise, that we are going to have some fun here. So I can set up Strength plus Eidolon, or Eidolon plus Strength. And since we only have 2 creatures in the graveyard, I'd rather get the extra card draw effect. So we can cast an Eidolon, draw a card. Mana Bloom's a good one. And pump our Wayfinder so it's a little bit bigger. See, look, we made our own Fleece Mane Lion. And now even Celestia Charm doesn't ambush us in combat, and we can just pass. It seems like this game's pretty much over. He can't stumble when it comes to trying to deal with us. And it seems like he probably kept a hand. It's simple. Just splash Brindlebore. So, here, do we have the kill? I don't think we have the kill itself yet, since it's just +2/+2. We have 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. So we could swing for 8 if we just bestowed a Boon Satyr, 10 if we wanted to play a Mana Bloom first. I think I'm going to do that, actually. I think I'm just going to clock him as fast as possible. So I'm going to play a Mana Bloom for 1, The reason I play it for 1 is that way we can bestow it instant speed without having to use our Elvish Mystic, and it'll bounce back to our hand. I'm just going to pump our Wayfinder and draw a card. Attack with everything. Free declares no blockers. We're going to add green. Bestow an our Eidolon. Trigger our Mystic. Draw a card. And now he's down to 4, and he's basically dead because we have like on board because we have Mana Bloom to Flicker, and there you go. So yeah, we got to show the power of Strength of the Fallen in round 1. Thank you guys all for watching, and keep your eyes open for the next, or we'll see you guys in the next round. Hey there everybody, here we are with round 2. We won the die roll, so we're going to go ahead and play first. This hand, not the best, so we're just going to go ahead and mulligan it. This hand is much stronger. Now, I'm not going to mulligan this. Now, one of the questions is, do you play Mutavault to hide what you're doing? Since we have carried it on turn 2, I'm just going to play this Temple, see what we want. I'm pretty sure I don't want another Mutavault, so I think we're good there. And then we're going to go ahead and pass. See what we're playing against. Looks like another green-white deck. Temple Garden untapped, no 1-drop. That is interesting. I'm not sure what to think about that. What's your play? Like, otherwise you just shocked yourself for no value. Yeah, okay. You really got me there. Feigning mana leak without blue or 2 mana. Oh, it looks like Big Naya. So we're gonna resolve a Courser next turn and then play a Temple and Scry. Or play the land off the top, either one. He has chosen to Scry to the bottom, so that's typically a good thing for us. So we're just gonna cast a Courser first. Typically when you can cast a Courser before you play your land for the turn, that's pretty nice, since you can, if there was a land on top of your library, you can choose to save it or not. Here, I think I'm going to Scry and keep it on top. I think this Courser is just fine. A little bit slow for what we want, but gaining some incremental life gain against Naya. I'm not sure if this is Big Naya or if it's normal, just Naya aggro, where they'll cast a 4/4 on turn 3 or something like that. No, it seems like, I'm almost sure this is Big Naya. Aggressive ones don't play so many Scry lands. He has chosen to Scry to the top, so he has at least something coming. He has chosen not to Mizzium Mortars my Courser, which is pretty nice. I think I'm just going to cast Courser here, and then play the Nykthos off the top of my library. Gain 2 more life. Gain an extra point of life from it. And then we're going to attack. Not much to fear in terms of wrath effects. Anger of the Gods doesn't hit Courser, and he can't overload Mizzium Mortars quite yet, which is pretty nice. The turn that he might be able to, we're going to try and leave up Boon Satyr mana, with preferably Nykthos. Let's see, what are you going to cast? Does he have Fleece Mainline? Sure. If that's what he's casting, I'm not that scared. You could have Boros Charm, Ethereal Armor. Is this just okay? This might be just like a hexproof list then. Ooh, there's a Strength from the Fallen. I am going to play my Forest, gain some life, and then probably Nykthos, putting up a Boon Satyr if he chooses to block. I'm almost sure he won't block. Okay, looks like he will. I think what could he have, like God's Willing, Giant Growth specifically? If he wants to blow me out with that. We're gonna resolve the second Courser after this. Brave the Elements. Okay. So he's gonna give his guy protection from green, not kill my guy, take 2. And then we're just gonna cast another Courser here. He's still a turn off from overloading Mizium Mortars. So coming into this board's not that bad. We'll also have a Strength from the Fallen in case if he ever does Mizium Mortars. One, he doesn't kill our 6/6. But it's possible that it's just like a Naya hexproof list. That's the only list that I know that plays Ethereal Armor, and that one doesn't play many Mizium Mortars. So my guess is he just wants to attack for a bunch. Problem is, if he attacks, like we have lethal on board with our Courser, our 3 Coursers and our Mutavault. So he also doesn't have Monstrosity up. We made him use a Brave the Elements, which is pretty nice. He could have cards like Boros Charm to like give it double strike. He wants to get in that way, but we've gained so much. We've gained 5 life already from Coursers, which is pretty nice. I'm trying to think what sort of effects he could have that could really blow us out. If he has, I don't think they play Advent of the Worm. So I could just attack with these, get in for, if he chooses to eat a Courser, we get in for 8, 10. I think I'm going to animate my Mutavault and just go in. If our creatures die, it makes our Strength from the Fallens that much better. And if he has some sort of trick to get rid of our big Courser of Krufix, it's really not the end of the world. Yeah, so my guess is he's going to Boros Charm, kill my Courser, and give his creature double strike or something ridiculous like that. Oh, there it is. Oh, he's just going to make it indestructible. Does he have like a second Boros Charm or something to pump its power? If we eat 2 Boros Charms at the cost of our Courser, that's pretty nice for us. Especially since he does take 6. Yeah, buddy. Boros Charmer is their strongest card against us in the matchup, and if he wants to go about it that way, that's pretty good for us. I'm not even going to bother playing the second Nykthos, and I'm not going to play the Strength from the Fallen either. He knows we have it, but now we have a random +1/+1, so any pet, well, for starters, he has to deal with this Boom Satyr, because it plus any one of our 2 power guys is lethal. Strength itself doesn't do that much since we know we're not drawing anything. Okay, so Johnny, you're gonna make it double strike, swing in for 8. No, he's just gonna make it a 5/5. So I believe we have lethal on board. If we just attack him with everything. I'm gonna play this Overgrown Tomb first. Just filter the lands off the top of our library. And then smash his face. Animate Mutavault. Is it worth playing Strength from the Fallen? He would have to have a burn spell for a Mutavault. Or, yeah, a removal spell for our Mutavault. Block our Boon Satyr. He takes 4. And then Strength would make it 5, so it's not the best thing. So we're just gonna smash with all of these, and just smash at him. And we're gonna play an Elvish Mystic post-combat, because then our Elvish Mystic will also be lethal with Strength from the Fallen. And we're just gonna ignore Johnny. Even taking 10 from Fleece Main Lion because of Johnny Double Strike. It's not that relevant. We just gotta keep him on the back foot before he gets a chance. And the fact that we were able to eat 2 Boros Charms earlier was really nice. If he doesn't have a burn spell for either Boon Satyr or Mutavault, then he's probably dead. Okay, so it seems like he has something for this Boon Satyr. And he's choosing to block Courser and eat Courser. First strike, and dead. Okay, looks like he just didn't have anything. So against Naya Hexproof, Golgari Charms are really good. I really like Abrupt Decays as well. Boon Satyrs are actually not that good. They help us attack him back. Basically, all his guys are going to be giant. He doesn't have any blue cards, so Skylasher and Mistcut are not the best. Now his Disciple is actually quite playable. I like it a little bit more than Nylea God of the Hunt. And I like having the Miser Bow of Nylea, because then they really don't want to block. And Fleeceman Lion's their only really indestructible guy. I tend to want to sacrifice probably a couple Commune with the Gods, and I like to sacrifice some Boon Satyrs. Yeah, they help put a clock on him, which is a little bit nice. But I would rather have the they have no real interaction with Strength from the Fallen, and so if we ever get Strength from the Fallen going, they have really not much up their sleeve, and they're probably just going to be trying to kill us as fast as possible. So we don't really care if we are killing them fast. We just have to not die, and then we win. Boros Charm is one of their strongest cards in the matchup, same with the Johnny, since being able to randomly have like a 7-power double strike flying just gets past our defenses if we don't have enough life gain from coursers, or if we don't stabilize early enough. It turns out his draw was just full of temples and guild gates, so he just came out way too slow out of the gates. And sometimes you can blow them out completely if they attack and they have like madcap skills. Oh, this hand is unkeepable. As much as I like triple Courser against their deck, we have no green, so we gotta mulligan this. This hand is much stronger. We're looking for just little dorks to make the Strength from the Fallen insane. I really, really, really want to draw the Satyr Wayfinder. Satyr Wayfinder is probably one of the better draws we can have right now, since it will not only find us our third land, it'll also probably put a couple creatures in the graveyard. It itself will be a threat. With 2 Strength from the Fallens, any 1/1 instantly becomes ridiculous. That is, in fact, not a Satyr Wayfinder. It is a land, so no complaints there. On turn 2, I may or may not want to cast Mana Bloom for 1. Probably will. It is a little bit of ramp in case we draw something expensive. Is he gonna pay 2 life and... Okay, so here comes the Fleeceman Lion, probably. I don't. It's not Witch Stalker mana, and it's not. Yeah, so there's the lion. So this time he has the lion on turn 2, which is kind of nice. Oh, that was a pretty sick draw. I could just Abrupt Decay now, or I could leave it up. The reason I'm Abrupt Decay now is because we already saw the Brave the Elements, and if we take out his clock here, he's way behind the 8 ball, and I don't want to lose the Abrupt Decay. So if he's playing this Temple Garden untapped, that almost certainly tells me he has Witch Stalker here. Yep. Witch Stalker, it's a creature. It does stuff. Courser of Crufix, yes please. So Courser helps us. Ooh, patang patang. We have a Bow of Nylea coming up. Bow is not that bad. Does set up some interesting things. We really want to get some creatures in the graveyard though, because we want these strengths to start doing something. The fact that we have a Mutavault is not bad at all. So there's the Madcap skills. Looks like we're gonna take 6 here. Looks like we're gonna take 8 here. Yeah, so this is the power of their deck, is they get to do shenanigans like that and attack for 8 and randomly try and kill you. Like if he has Boros Charm, we're, I think, actually dead. He just gets to swing for 16. I'm gonna play this land, gain a life. Nyx Weaver is a very, very, very good draw. The question is now, like, do I sit back? Because like if he has Boros Charm, we die. And the thing is, like, if we put Boon Satyr and Courser in front, we lose both of them, which basically means we're dead the following turn if he has Boros Charm. So we just have to play as though we are dead to Boros Charm, which is not exactly what I want. So I'm just going to play Mana Bloom here. I am intentionally tapping my Mutavault, so that way if he wants to play Boros Charm before blocks or anything, we can flash in a Boon Satyr and then just chump and not be just dead to it. Like, we'll be sad, because we'll get absolutely crushed by it, but we won't be dead, at least. A Johnny, we're dead. Well, that happens. Can't do much about that. As I said, Doomblade doesn't do anything against him, so we just gotta ship it back. On to game 3. This hand is pretty good. I would not like to mulligan. Golgari Charm is very strong against him. We had to commune on turn 2. And then hopefully set up a spot so that we Golgari Charm, blow up an enchantment, and he gets completely and totally wrecked by it. Does he have turn 1 1/1? He does have turn 1 Gladecover Scout. Now it makes me want to save Golgari Charm instead of commune. Just to punish him big time for trying to equip onto it. That card. Hopefully he just tries to slam Madcap Skills or something on it, or let's see what he goes for. Whichever one, we're just going to take the value here and be very, very, very happy. Snap that 2-for-1, and now he's down to Madcap Skills, which is pretty nice. Now we can choose to cast a Courser or a Nyx Weaver here, and this is actually one worth thinking about. Like, Nyx Weaver will make our strength even faster. Courser, the life gain is not going to be that relevant, so I'd rather just cast a Nyx Weaver here. Start setting up our turn with Strength from the Fallen to be insane. Also does allow for a blocker if he just slams a Johnny with a creature, since we just did a chump block, and I think we got the Madcap Skills out of his hand. If he has a second one, you know, props for him. But I think we have at least 1 or 2 turns of calmness of no attacks, no threats. He chose to scry to the bottom too, which is a good sign for us. I think getting rid of that Gladecover Scout was pretty nice. We milled 2 creatures. Here I'm going to cast a Courser. Try to hit a land off the top of our library. We wouldn't have hit it if we cast it last turn. Okay. So we are a little bit tight on mana. If we hit our 4th land, it's pretty nice since we get to cast Strength and Commune the same turn. And it seems like we started to have a clock on him now. It is important. So currently our Strength from the Fallens are +2/+2. After Commune, it could be +3/+3 or +4/+4, which is not bad at all. We are drawing an Elvish Mystic, so it's a thing. Let's see how he scries again. He has chosen to scry to the top. Okay, so it seems like he finally found a threat. Witchstalker? This looks like Witchstalker, okay. So Witchstalker probably can't kill us in 1 turn. Hopefully we hit a land off the Courser. We milled the land. Okay, so we can play Elvish Mystic and Commune with the Gods. Commune gets creature or enchantment. So I think I'm going to Commune here. See what I can find. A second Strength from the Fallen would be really good. Do I want any one of these? No. Do I want to put any of them in my hand? Is it worth or is the +1/+1 more relevant? Currently we have +3/+3. This will make it +6/+6. We'll be able to cast Strength. I think I'm going to take this Bow of Nylea, since it doesn't do anything in our graveyard, and it at least gets us a card for it. We're going to play an Elvish Mystic. And now, so when we cast Strength next turn, we have a Strength on top, but that's going to get milled away. So if we have strength plus another 2-drop enchantment, or if we hit a land and bow, that'll be at least +7/+7, which means this attack is not the most relevant. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's +6/+6. So I'll make this 8, 14. So any one of these will be lethal, so I'm going to just leave my guys back. We can attack, and then he'll just eat a Nyx Weaver. So no point in even letting him eat the Nyx Weaver for nothing. And if he goes a Johnny Flying Double Strike, we just chump it in front anyway. He has Scryed to the bottom. Okay, that's pleasant, knowing that he isn't killing us right away. Madcap skills. Okay, Unflinching Courage. That's not a bad one. And Ethereal Armor. Okay, so he has a 7/7 First Strike, Trample, and Lifelink. So that means he's going to be at 21 if we go Strength, Strength. So basically what I'm saying is chump with Nyx Weaver. He'll gain 7 life, go to 21. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures in the graveyard. We'll get 3 triggers from Strength, which should be enough to kill him. So we're going to just chump block with Nyx Weaver here, and then kill him with a Courser. Since the first Strength of the Fallen will make our Courser, yeah, I did count it right, good. So we're going to cast Strength of the Fallen, make our Courser big, cast a second Strength of the Fallen, and get 2 triggers from it. And then he's just dead. And now we smash him for 25, or 23 rather. Yay, math. Bam! Got him. Boom, get him. Boom, get him. Against Naya Hexproof. Thank you guys for watching. Here we are, round numero 3. And we win the die roll, so we're going to go ahead and lead it off. This hand is pretty good. I'm not going to mulligan it. We have double Commune, both of which find Strength from the Fallen. We also have Courser if we ever draw another land. Just going to play our Overgrown Tomb, tapped and pass. If we were really worried about mana, we could cast a Mana Bloom for 1 on turn 2 to make sure we hit our Courser on turn 3. But I think I'd just rather Commune with the Gods. Depends, of course, on the matchup itself. So let's see. Okay, so this could be mono red or red white, burn. Choose to keep on top. I think I want to... Let's see what my draw is first. Okay, since I drew another land, I surely want to cast Commune here. We're going to cast a Courser anyway on turn 3. Here I'm going to take a Satyr Wayfinder. Boon Satyrs don't do much against red-white decks, especially ones that have Magma Jet or Searing Blood or any one of those burn spells. Yeah. So we're going to force him. There's Ash Zealot. So we're going to cast Courser next turn. We're going to take a little bit of damage playing our land, but having a Courser in play is pretty good against their deck, since it offers slow incremental life gain, which keeps us alive long enough so that way when we resolve our giant threats, they can't answer them. So, I'm going to pay 2 life, and then cast this Courser. Another Satyr Wayfinder. Not the best draw. This is just a dorky 1/1. Does help us find more lands, though. So if he attacks, I don't think I block. If he has Searing Blood or Magma Jet or anything like that. Is this Mizzium Mortars here? No, Chandra's Phoenix. Boros Reckoner. Now I'm going to block. Tells me he doesn't have the burn spell, he just wanted to resolve the Reckoner. Reckoner is very good against this deck. I'm going to play this Forest off the top. And now we can play Wayfinder or Commune with the Gods, or Nylea. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast a Commune with the Gods and then a Satyr Wayfinder. The reason I cast Commune is maybe I want this Eidolon. No, I think I want Strength from the Fallen here. They oftentimes don't have much to recover from our Strength from the Fallen from us, and we have 2 mana blooms in hand. Now I'm going to cast this Wayfinder to try and make our graveyard as chunky with creatures as possible. So I think I'm just going to take this Temple of Malady. Okay, so currently our Strength from the Fallens are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 5. That's pretty good, especially since he's going to attack with the Reckoner. Almost surely. So we're just going to take 3 from this Reckoner. We may or may not block the Ash Zealot. If he chooses to attack with it. Seems like he doesn't have the burn spell. Yeah, we're just going to take 3 here. And he's just going to cast another Reckoner. Another Reckoner is pretty bad, actually, for us. Another Reckoner is really bad for us. I'm just going to cast this Mutavault off the top. Boon Satyr, that's a fantastic draw. Makes me not want to cast this Wayfinder this turn. So I could cast Strength and attack and kill this Reckoner, and then he just blasts my face for 1,000,000. Or I could just cast a Nylea, and then a Mana Bloom for 0. That seems pretty sketchy. Oh, it looks like he just saw the good luck, have fun. It'll probably take 6 from these Reckoners. I think I want to cast Strength this turn. I think... So I could cast Strength, I could cast Nylea. I do not want to cast this Wayfinder because Boon Satyr is going to witness this game with a Strength with a Strength ready. So I think I'm just going to play Strength, make my Courser big, attack. Boros Reckoner can block, but he'll probably redirect it just to the Courser. And then... we won't be able to cast Nylea. I think that's still worth it. I think I'm just going to cast this Strength, make my Courser big, make him want to kill the Courser. He could always redirect 7 damage to me, but I'm not too scared. Yeah. Go ahead. You get to smash me for 7 if you should so choose. But if not, you let my Courser live, and then next turn we get to kill him. Yeah, he's just going to do it to me. Now, Mutavault and Satyr Wayfinder are both going to block. He's have like 2 4-mana burn spells. True Fire Paladin. That's a thing. Okay. Satyr Wayfinder, you get to jump under the bus. Daring Skyjack. Okay, so we're dead on board, so we gotta be careful about that. So if we cast a Nylea, this thing will have Trample. So I'm going to play my land, gain a life. Our pump is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can have 3 triggers, that's 18 points of damage. I'll make this 20. And then his Boros right, we don't kill him, which is bad. 3 in the air. Have this have first strike. I think I want to leave up Boon Satyr as like a flash dude. And just play a Wayfinder. We're taking at least 3. I'm just going to cast a Wayfinder here. Since we don't kill him this turn, even with 3 triggers, we're just going to cast a Wayfinder, make it so that way the next turn we definitely kill him. And then I'm just going to leave up 2 Mutavaults as chump blockers. And pass. So now, since we got 3 more creatures, our Strength from the Fallen triggers are huge. Okay, let's see how he wants to attack here. He is alphaing. Okay. So I can throw a Mutavault under the True Fire Paladin, which I think I want to do. So okay. And just in case, I think I have to animate the other Mutavault. So if he burns it, no, he already passed priority. So this will block there, this will block there, this will block there. We take 3 plus 1 from the Boros Reckoner. Hoping he just gives this first strike, then passes. I want to leave 1 Mutavault in case we need to, but we should have lethal the following turn. Okay, there's first strike. Damage happens. Chose not to give his Reckoner first strike, not like it matters. Shoot me for 1, I go to 5. Lightning Strike plus Shock gets us. Exactly. But that's the only card that does. Okay. So now we should win. So we're gonna play our land, gain a life. We're gonna play Annihilia. Get 1 trigger from our strength. He doesn't have Lightning Helix up, so we should have this game now. And we're gonna cast this X equals 0, since each one is +10, +10. So we're gonna smash him for 32. That seems like an appropriate number. Unless he's slow rolling us Shock plus Lightning Strike. That'd be a blowout. Smash your face. And we need to play the Annihilia there because trample. Boom, go to -14. Got there. So yeah, that's the sort of explosiveness that comes from this deck. Against these sort of decks, I like bringing in Scavenging Ooze. I didn't see Chandra's Phoenix in that game, but that's why the Ooze is there, and Annihilia's Disciple. Annihilias are pretty bad, actually, and same with Eidolon of Blossoms. Yeah, it's a pretty good engine. I also like to take out Boonsatyr. Yeah, it's a good engine, but they have too many 2-mana burn spells. We didn't see many from him, to be honest. I'm also going to bring in the bow for a second Boonsatyr. Boonsatyr, again, does the same sort of thing. It just opens ourselves up to way too many blowouts. Yeah, so that one, yeah, we took 7 to our face from our own trigger, but we needed to kill at least 1 Boros Reckoner. I'm surprised when he alphaed there, he thought he'd be safe. I mean, I guess he supposed that our guy wouldn't have trample, and since his had vigilance, he'd be safe. I don't know. A lot of people don't know what to expect from the Strength for the Fallen triggers, because they get out of control. I think my best draw ever, though, was the time I got triple Strength from the Fallen and attacked him for like 69 or something ridiculous like that. Some arbitrarily large number that they're not winning from. Okay, here we are, game 2. Can't keep this hand, no green source. I will keep this hand. The reason is we'll be able to temple to scry for a land. And if we hit 1 land, our Satyr Wayfinder will find us into another one. And then we have 2 strength from the Fallens with a Satyr Wayfinder, which might be just enough to win the game. And if he burns it out, well, we'll hopefully have 2 or 3 lands, and then be able to resolve Annihilate's Disciple, and that'll help us recover. So time to scry. Looking for land. Anything that's not a land, to the bottom. Yep. Snapping that on top. Turn 2 Wayfinder will find us at least another land, and that'll help us stabilize-ish. This is almost surely an Ash Zealot. Attack us for 2. No, he can't cast it for double red. So that means it might be True Fire Paladin. Daring Skyjack. Well, Satyr Wayfinder can jump in front of a Daring Skyjack all day, every day. Since he has not a care in the world. So we could take Temple or we could take Overgrown Tomb. I'd rather take Temple. Just to make sure we hit our 4th land. Because if we resolve a 4th land, gaining life is going to be much more relevant than playing a Boon Satyr on turn 3. Satyr Wayfinder will snap Chump Block if he doesn't have a burn spell for it. Oh, looks like he won't snap Chump Block. And now it makes me want this Overgrown Tomb so I could flash it in instant speed. That is a good draw. That is a very good draw. Do I want a Nyx Weaver? Yeah, it triggers it gets our strength from the Fallens online, but I think we just want a 4th land. I'm just gonna pass here. See if he wants another. I could attack for 1, but I'm just gonna hold back in case he plays Ash Zealot or something else with haste. Hopefully, he just snaps another Madcap Skills on it or something ridiculous like that. Oh, there's a Chandra's Phoenix. So I'm just gonna Abrupt Decay the Skyjack here. And then we're gonna take 2, go to 12. And this is why we bring in Scavenging Ooze, as I mentioned that inside board. Not the best land, but it will gain us some life, the first one. This one will gain us 3, and the next one gaining us 5 is gonna be probably enough to help get there. Now I get to attack for 1. He doesn't have Shock, or he might have shocked the Wayfinder in response to the Annihilate's Disciple trigger. Currently, strengths are +2/+2. When we play both on the same turn, we get 3 triggers, so that's 6 damage. Ash Zealot. Snap Block. Snap Block. Actually, don't think I'll Snap Block, but it doesn't seem like he has the burn spells. Seems like he doesn't run burn spells, but he runs Madcap Skills and more creature heavy instead, which is a good sign for us. Yeah, here I'm just gonna slam the second Disciple. And that'll probably put the game out of reach for him. Now I can attack for 3, and I think I will attack for 3. If he blocks and has a burn spell, it makes our strengths much stronger, but yeah, there you go. So this is why we run Disciples online, because there's a lot of mono red or red white running around. He chose to scry on top, so that's not the best for us. He doesn't attack with Ash Zealot, so he still doesn't have a burn spell. So here I can just cast 2 strength from the Fallens. I can set up 1 strength from the Fallen and then Nykthos in a Boon Satyr if he chooses not to block. I'm gonna put it on a random Annihilate's Disciple. I could put it on Wayfinder, but getting extra 2 points in can be relevant. I'm just gonna attack here, see if he wants to block or not. He has chosen not to block, so I am willing to pay 1 life to smash you for a lot more. So now I get smashed for 11. What is this? War Leader's Helix me. Okay. We still get to block his Ash Zealot. He chooses to attack. I'm surprised he didn't War Leader's Helix my Nylia's Disciple with my Strength trigger on the stack. Gonna chain to the rocks my Disciple. Okay. Still have a dude. See if a burn spell for my Boon Satyr. So he's gonna attack us for 2. Probably not much more than that. Again, each strength trigger is +2/+2. The second Nykthos is not exactly what I wanted to draw. So we have 2 triggers here. So we have 7, 8. We're gonna give this +2/+2 and this +2/+2. Then he'll just chump block. He's got 1 card in hand. If it's a burn spell, we're a sad panda. I think we just gotta cast this strength. Put 1 trigger on my Boon Satyr. Put 1 trigger on the Satyr Wayfinder. And then we can attack him for 8 if we want. Or swing for lethal. If he swings for lethal, he has to chump with the Ash Zealot. I think making him chump block is good. It'll take one of his threats away. If he has a burn spell, we'll be able to play an Elvish Mystic and chump it. Okay, so he's gonna take 6 here, go to 3, and now both Disciple and Satyr are lethal. If he had a second Helix, that'd be bad for us. If he had a second Helix, he would have played an end of turn there, in case he didn't draw a second burn spell, because we're going to be at 6. Boros Charm plus another burn spell kills us. And there's the concession. Would we have done anything? No. So, if he had a burn spell or anything, we were probably dead since we didn't have another enchantment to trigger our strengths. But there you go. Looks like Nylia's Disciple did tons of work. And here we are in the finals, round number 4. We've got this hand is kind of sketchy. I'm not gonna mulligan it. It has Elvish Mystics, it has Strength, and it has Mana Bloom. It's 1 piece away from just going off. That piece being either an ability to mill ourselves, so that way Strength from the Fallen goes off. Seems like it's another green-white deck. He chose to scry to the top. Either a mill effect like Satyr Wayfinder, Commune with the Gods, or Eidolon of Blossoms. We're just 1 card away from this being just a complete beatdown. Now it seems like we're against Naya again. Ooh, Voyaging Satyr. So this is big Naya. This is actually big Naya. Abrupt Decay. So I can Abrupt Decay his Satyr and play another Mystic, which I think I'm going to do. When in doubt, bolt the bird. Just play another Mystic and pass. Taking away his ramp is pretty nice if you're playing big Naya. Yeah, since he doesn't have another play here. Sweet, we drew a Satyr Wayfinder. As I said, that was one of the cards we needed to finish this off. If he wants to burn an Elvish Mystic, he can go right on ahead. I'm going to cast a Wayfinder here. Hopefully mill some creatures. Nope, no creatures, unfortunately. The reason I didn't play my land is in case we drew a temple. I'm going to leave that on top. Yeah, so it seems like killing his Voyaging Satyr was completely the correct play. He's slowed down a lot. He has no real threats right now. Need to attack for 3 here. No point leaving up Boon Satyr Bestow yet. If he wants to burn any of these guys, he can. Since we're just playing dorks. I cast a Courser here, preferably play a land off the top. Okay, that's a Nylia. That's not a bad one at all. We're just gonna play our land. We're not gonna show him that we have a Mana Bloom in hand and play it for 0 since it doesn't do anything. Unfortunately, we have no creatures in the graveyard, so our mana bloom doesn't, or our strength doesn't do anything. He's a land away, but 2 red sources away from Mizium Mortaring. Overloaded, 4 mana. Xenagos the Reveler. Well, if he puts a 2/2, we get to eat it, so it doesn't do much. So I can just cast Nylea and then attack with my Courser at his Xenagos, which I think is going to be the play. Next turn we have the double strength turn. No creatures, of course. If we attack this way, though, we definitely get to kill his Xenagos. And he gets to eat one of our guys, which is what we want for our Strength for the Fallen. And our Nylea is still active. So we're going to have 2 strengths. That's 3 triggers, unless he chooses to kill something else. And we could have 2 strengths plus mana bloom. That's 5 triggers at +1/+1. So, unless he kills this Wayfinder for some weird reason. It's going to be Stormbreath Dragon. I think this is Stormbreath, yeah. Hello, Stormbreath Dragon. Oh, sitting back on defense, eh? So I can attack with all of these guys and just, or like with these 3, bestow Boon Satyr on something that he chooses to block with. Which I think is what I'm going to do. Just gonna smash like that. Anyone he blocks with gets bestowed Boon Satyred. Stormbreath Dragon's actually a big problem for this deck, so the fact that we get to just eat it in combat is pretty nice. And the fact that our Nylea stays around, because our Devotion's still high enough. And there's the concession. So yeah. That game was pretty far ahead. We didn't need to cast Strength ever, which was pretty nice. So against this sort of deck, we don't have like too much. I like bringing in Bo. Bo is very good in this matchup. Just giving our guys Death Touch makes him unruly. Same with Doomblade. Cards I don't like. Boon Satyr's okay. It sets up blowouts. Not so much. Eidolon's playable. I don't like Abrupt Decay that much. I mean, it basically hits Domri and their own coursers, which is okay, I guess. I think I'm just gonna take out 2 Satyr Wayfinders. Don't do too much. Cannot keep this hand. It seems like in these 4 rounds, really wants us to mulligan. Ooh, this hand is really sketchy. Like, if we hit a land, we have everything we want. I don't think I'm going to mulligan since we're on the draw. If we get punished for it, so be it. Sometimes you got to take a few risks, and I think any given 5-card hand is not going to be better than this if we draw another land. So, if we hit another land, we're able to cast Caryatid, then Weaver, and we've sort of gotten to a good point. If we don't hit our land, we're really far behind. Well, rest in peace, Elvish Mystic. It's not going to live. I'm almost sure if he has a burn spell or anything, he's just going to kill his Mystic. Or he's just going to cast his Xenagos. Looks like, yeah, looks like he cast his Xenagos. Well, it could be worse. He also did not choose to make a 2/2 and attack with it. So, spared 2 points of damage there. Drew a land. Question is, do we cast Caryatid or do we cast Nyxweaver? I think since we were behind on lands, we just have to cast the Caryatid and pass. If he Stormbreaths next turn, that'll be a little bit bad for us. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it. But if we draw a land next turn, we'll be able to cast Caryatid and Weaver and set up a good Strength from the Fallen turn, I suppose. If he attacks with the Satyr, I don't think I block. They do run Gorkland Rampager, and losing my Caryatid for nothing is not exactly what I want to do. That is if he doesn't remember to make a Satyr and attack with it pre-combat. He could also plus his Xenagos for 6 mana, like to have 6 total. Let's see, he's just gonna cast a Storm Breath. Yeah, this is just Storm Breath. Okay. You, sir, have a Storm Breath Dragon. Now I'm definitely gonna block there. We're a little bit behind the 8 ball here, taking some damage. But I think getting a Spider and a Caryatid in play next turn will be pretty nice. There's our land. So I'm gonna add. We have to use our Mana Confluence, unfortunately. I'm gonna cast a Spider. Because along came a Spider. And there's our Caryatid. Question is, will we be able to get enough value from this Strength from the Fallen to kill him in one attack? We'll have 1, 2, 3, Devotion is 4. So we can just cast Annihilia for free. It's not for free, it's plus 2 mana. So we're going to take 8 here, since he chose not to monstrous his Stormbreath Dragon. I mean, he could plus Xenagos. Yeah, look, okay, so he's just going to monstrous now. So we take 3, go to 3, go to 10. Yeah. So we go to 10, and he has a 7/7 flyer. So we could chump block, but I don't think I can. I think what I have to do is hope he doesn't have Gorkland Rampager for the following turn. Hope you have a decent strength here. Mana Bloom Temple, not exactly the best. I'm going to scry with this temple first. I do not want this commune with the gods anywhere. So this will block there, this will block there, this will block the other 2/2. Now if he has Gorkland, we're dead no matter what. So I can just cast Annihilia and then hope to get there next turn. I think that's the plan. So if that's the case, then I cast. Gotta pay life with this Confluence. I could tap the Elvish Mystic. If I tap the Elvish Mystic, yeah, we just are gonna cast Annihilia here. And then pass. And hope that our Commune with the Gods plus Nyx Weaver. Actually, our Nyx Weaver is just gonna get killed. I mean, if he has Gorkland, we're dead. If he has second Stormbreath, Anger of the Gods. Well, that does it too. That does it too. We weren't getting there, looks like. Yeah, we weren't able to recover fast enough from our land situation. It was close. It does bring in Anger, so it does make our Eidolons better. We could bring in Golgari Charm to protect against Anger of the Gods. Take out Boon Satyrs for it. That actually seems fine. And then we're gonna choose to play first. Hopefully keep a hand that's decent. Okay, this hand is decent. We are looking for a black source to cast our Nyx Weavers, but we at least have turn 1 Elvish Mystic, and we have lands. If we draw a black source, we're pretty well off. So that's all we're looking for now. That is in fact not a black source. Get in there, Elvish Mystic. Now we're looking for any land, I think. This hand was pretty sketchy, but I don't think I would mulligan it. Because if we're able to resolve a Nyx Weaver, we're able to start getting... we're getting 2 3s on the board, and that's very good against him. Get in there. Get in there. Actually drawing all our black spells with no black sources. You know, that's part of Magic, I suppose. And we're not exactly dead yet. He doesn't have Domery at all either, so that's pretty nice. Keening Apparition. Well, I'm almost surely going to just cast a Nyx Weaver here. And then pass. He wants to sack it to kill my Nyx Weaver. I'm okay with that. He chose not to, so he might be saving it for the Strength from the Fallen. Polukranos. I know it's Polukranos, but... Well, we milled a Strength. So I could play a Mana Bloom for 1 and play another Spider. You can Polukranos for 1 and just eat my Elvish Mystic. We could save this Golgari Charm to regenerate, but I think getting a second Nyx Weaver in play is just fine. Now we have 2 Nyx Weavers, which is going to make our Strength from the Fallen pretty nice. And we're going to have Annihilia almost set up. So he wants to kill my Mana Bloom. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Okay, he chose not to. Remember, we can always eventually, once we get more lands, we can use Nyx Weaver to get back Strength. So he's going to Polukranos for 1, eat my Elvish Mystic. Oh. Oh, that happens. Okay. So we're probably going to Golgari Charm that at some point. And does he have a follow-up? Looks like he does not. So we milled 1 creature plus lands. Not exactly the best. So we can Eidolon to Cantrip to try and draw into another land, which is what I want. We're going to take some more damage from this Polukranos, I think. Did not hit our next land. We can attack with 2 spiders. I could leave 1 spider just to chump. I'm gonna attack with 1 spider. It seems free here. Hopefully his Keening Apparition chooses to kill my Eidolon here. Nope. He just wants to go all in on this Polukranos. Now the question is, do we have Store Breath? 6 mana. Mizzium Mortars overloaded. A little bit blown out there, but couldn't do anything about that. We just had to commit to the board. I think we're probably dead. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, well, not bad. We went 3-1 with the deck, and it had some pretty explosive draws. And we just got a little bit blown out right there at the end. Thank you guys all for watching, and thank you guys all for watching the first video set here on MTGheadquarters.com.
I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, check out some of our most popular playlists from MTG vlogs, sick gameplay videos, new product breaks, and some insane vintage openings. I upload 3 to 4 new Magic the Gathering videos every week, so if you haven't already, please take a moment to crush that subscribe button to join one of the fastest growing Magic the Gathering channels on YouTube. Talk to you later.